Today our guest is Conflictologist Avaz Hasanov. Welcome to our studio. Today our topic will be about the visit of OSCE Minsk group co-chairs to the regions. How this visit is distinguished from others. The visit of OSCE Minsk group co-chairs seems different as they sent a mission to the occupied territories of Azerbaijan recently. Moreover, as you know, after the meeting of President Obama with Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev, there appeared hopes for the progress in the result of US and Azerbaijani co-chairs' active and hard work. So, except hopes, there is not a serious distinction between these visits. But some experts evaluate this visit as an obstacle for postponing of discussion of the issue which was raised by Azerbaijan in the United Nations Security Council. What's your opinion about it? Azerbaijan presented two statements to UN General Assembly, but then withdrew these statements. To my mind, it was a positive step for Azerbaijan, because the intervention of UNO for solving this conflict isn't accepted by the authoritative bodies and countries. Any issue which is raised by Azerbaijan in the United Nations or somewhere else can seriously harm the negotiation process. The separate steps taken either by Azerbaijan or by Armenia will ever be blocked by America in order not to be an obstacle for OSCE Minsk group co-chairs. After the meeting of Azerbaijan and Armenia presidents, there was a pause in the negotiations by the initiative of Russian president. It seems that after the meeting of America and Azerbaijan presidents, this pause was lifted. But as the visit of OSCE Minsk group co-chairs started, Armenian parliament kept recognition of the so-called Daghlak Karabakh on agenda. How do you understand this? Armenian parliament doesn't absolutely depend on Sargsyan. That's why they keep this issue on agenda. You said that there was some delay after meeting with Russian president, but there is not much delay. If we pay attention, we can observe that the ambassadors visited the regions, etc. So, there is not serious delay. Russian president supported this issue in a political way, and the president will take initiatives themselves. Discussion of this conflict in Armenian parliament won't be solved positively. But when the solution of the conflict was closed, there was a terror in Armenian parliament, and the negotiations were broken, and the solution of the conflict was postponed again. Probably, Russia took these parts in these events. Let's see. Is Russia interested in eliminating Azerbaijan and supporting Armenia? Russia ever has tried to balance its policy, because Russia wouldn't like to damage its image by taking negative decisions. So Russia is interested in lasting conflict. As in this case, Russia can influence Armenian parliament or to give promises to Azerbaijan president. From your point of view, it seems that Russia manages all processes in the region. West and local authorities don't play any role in these processes. Is it right? Russia can influence more than others do. America's influence became slower in these processes. European Union is not also so much interested in Azerbaijan as it was before. It depends on neither from Azerbaijan and nor from Armenia. No one wants to have conflict with Russia. Russia is able to solve this problem. Europe, America, even our government and Armenian government want to be able to have impact on the conflict. Will Armenia adopt new Madrid principles? If we put aside two principles of new Madrid principles, we can consider that it was adopted. First, the recognition of Daghlak Karabakh status for Armenia. Second, the postponement of Daghlak Karabakh status for Azerbaijan. It demanded from Azerbaijan to refuse from the claim of waging war, but it's convincing as Azerbaijan cannot refuse from its sins being insured for getting its land back. If the sides will agree about the status of Daghlak Karabakh, there won't be any problems with the Madrid principles. These principles are useful both for Armenia and Azerbaijan. But the main issue is the status, so it would be solved at first. If this principle will be solved in a complex form, it will take 4 or 5 years. If it will not be solved in complex form, it won't take more than 15 years. In any case, these principles can be achieved in some periods. Azerbaijan divided the Daghlak Karabakh conflict into two parts after the authority of Ilham Aliyev. They expressed this in their speech, "Sir, Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict and Daghlab-Karabakh conflict. What do you think? Is it right to divide the conflict into two parts? We accept Madrid principles as a package, but maybe it won't be carried out in some periods. This is my personal thought, and maybe it won't be realized. After some time, West won't be interested in Daghlab-Karabakh status and will demand to open the borders between Azerbaijan and Armenia to have economic cooperation. Concerning the division of the conflict into two parts, I can say that the conflict is between Armenia and Azerbaijan, but the main target of the conflict is Daghlab-Karabakh. Azerbaijan approaches Armenians and Daghlab-Karabakh Armenians differently, as Azerbaijan needs these resources in peacemaking. The mission came some years ago, held monitoring, but they even didn't discuss the results. What do you expect from them now? No, the mission issued a report in OSCE. The result of the monitoring was not confidential. To my opinion, they should do the same when they did 5 years ago, because if Azerbaijan government was ready to meet the mission and had done something related to occupied territories, for example, we had historical monuments in Aghdam, Fizuli, Latrin, Kalbajar, our government could propagate them in the public, publish books, and so on. If we ask any other citizen about historical monuments in Aghdabadi, he cannot answer this question. And if the mission haven't seen the photo of historical monuments, how can the mission express opinions about the monument? Armenia is also interested in the visit of the mission, for observing what conditions the population lives and so on. I'd like to remark that volunteers were in occupied regions in Kalbajar and they had video records. It seems from the video records that there are Armenian military units in the occupied territories. We can also watch it on YouTube and other social networks. Thank you for visiting our studio. Today our guest was conflictologist Avaz Hasanov.